everyone, welcome back to my channel Gems of Knowledge. In the previous video we have dealt with the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So in this video we are going to learn the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Okay. So before starting my video, make sure to subscribe to my channel and also click the bell button to get the notification to the earliest. Okay. So here you can see first reaction, reaction with air or oxygen. The first reaction is reaction with air or oxygen. So metals combine with oxygen to form metal oxides. So we can say here metal plus oxygen will give us metal oxide. So this is general case of the reaction. Okay. So here few examples have been given. First one is 2Cu. This Cu is nothing but it is copper plus oxygen O2. It will give us copper oxide. CuO is nothing but copper oxide. This 2 is just showing the balancing of this equation. Just to balance this equation, this 2 is been given. Okay. Similarly here 2Mg plus O2 will give us 2MgO. This is nothing but magnesium oxide. Okay. But we need to know one more thing here. You can see here one note has been given. So in that first thing is written, different metals show different reactivity towards O2. O2 is nothing but oxygen. So we need to know what different metals show what different types of reactivity. So let us know it one by one. Na and K. Na is nothing but sodium and K is nothing but potassium. So sodium and potassium react so vigorously that they catch fire if kept in open. So it means these two are the very reactive metals, and it means our sodium and potassium will react very vigorously, very badly when it is kept open in air, or we can say in oxygen. So they are kept immersed in kerosene. So I guess you all know that they are kept, the sodium and potassium, both the metals are kept in the kerosene just because it should not react with the presence of oxygen or air. Then surfaces of Mg, Al, Zn and Pb are covered with a thin layer of oxide. So Mg is nothing but magnesium, Al is aluminium, Zn is zinc and Pb is nothing but lead. So the surfaces of these metals are covered with a thin layer of oxide which prevent them from further oxidation. So it means these metals are covered with a thin layer of oxide. As it react with oxygen, a thin layer of oxide will be formed on the covering of these metals. Okay. So which is very good for these metals as it prevents from further oxidation. Okay. Further these metals will not be oxidized. Next, coming to the fourth point, Fe. Fe is nothing but iron here. Fe does not burn on heating, but iron fillings burn vigorously. So the iron metal will not burn on heating, but the small iron pieces, okay, that is called as iron fillings, but it can be burned when it is placed onto the flame. Okay. So Cu is nothing but copper. Copper does not burn, but it is coated with a black copper oxide. So copper will not burn. The metal copper will not burn, but instead what happens is it will be coated with a black color layer. That layer is nothing but copper oxide. Okay. Similarly, Au and Ag. Au and Ag are nothing but gold and silver. They do not react with oxygen at all. So these are the two metals which do not react with oxygen at all. Okay. So next thing what we have to study here is nothing but the amphoteric oxide. So what do you mean by this amphoteric oxide? So metal oxides react with both acids and bases to produce salt and water are called as amphoteric oxide. So those metal oxide which is formed in the above situation where the metals react with oxygen. After reacting with oxygen, we get nothing but metal oxides. So these metal oxides can react with both acids and bases. It can react with acid also as well as base also to produce salt and water. So these metal oxides which does these things are called as amphoteric oxides. So you can see examples have been given here. This is aluminium oxide. So Al2O3. The molecular formula of aluminium oxide is Al2O3. Okay, so I think you are familiar with how to write with the molecular formula of the compounds. So if you are not aware of this, please let me know in the comment section. I will do a separate video on this thing. Okay, so Al2O3 plus 6HCl. HCl is nothing but here hydrochloric acid. So this metal oxide, when react with an acid, it gives us aluminium chloride. Aluminium chloride is nothing but the salt, and water will be released out. So you can see here it react with either acid or base to produce salt and water. So when aluminium oxide, see metal oxide is reacted with acid here to produce salt and water. So in the other case you can see aluminium oxide is reacted with NaOH, sodium hydroxide. This is nothing but it is a base. So when it reacts with a base, it will again give us sodium aluminate, which is nothing but a salt. Sodium aluminate is nothing but the salt, and H2O, water will be released. Okay, so this is this type of oxides, metal oxides, which react with acids as well as base to give us salt as well as water. This type of metal oxides are nothing but called as amphoteric oxides. Okay. Yes, I hope you remembered I asked you what is anodizing. Okay, so here is the answer for that. Anodizing is the process of forming a thick oxide layer of aluminium when it is exposed to air. So it means when aluminium is exposed to air, a thick oxide layer is formed on the aluminium. So that process is nothing but called as anodizing. Okay, so this process helps in further resistance to corrosion. By doing an anodizing to the aluminium, we can help this aluminium metal from corroding. So what is corroding? It is similar to rusting. There is no difference between corrosion and rusting. Rusting is in the case of iron, whereas corrosion we called it in the case of any other type of material. Metals. Okay, next coming to the second type of reaction of metals with oxide. So the first thing what we have learned is nothing but reaction with air, or we can say reaction with oxygen. The second reaction is reaction of metals with water. So here what happens here is metals combine with water to form metal oxides and hydrogen. So there it was, metals react with oxygen to form directly metal oxide, but there was no hydrogen evolved there. But in the case of water, hydrogen gas will be evolved. Okay, metal oxides, after the evolution of hydrogen gas, what happens is metal oxide, this metal oxide again react with water to give metal hydroxide. Okay, so first case what happens, only the metal will react with water to give metal oxide and hydrogen gas will be evolved. Again this metal oxide will undergo reaction with water and it will form a metal hydroxide. Okay, so there is a note here, you can see different metals react with the different forms of water. So before going to this, you can see a question is popping onto the screen. So the question is, which is the most reactive metal? So if you know the answer to this question, be the first to comment down in the comment section. So let's see here the next one. Okay, so here 4 cases are been there. So you can see first case is cold water. So metals, how the metals react in case of cold water. So you can see Na, K and Ca. Na is nothing but sodium, K is potassium and Ca is calcium. So sodium, potassium and calcium react with cold water. So only these 3 metals can react with cold water. So you can, okay, here as they have told us here, metal will first react with water and it will give us metal oxide, then hydrogen. Again this metal oxide will react with water to give us metal hydroxide. So in this case, in this reactions, you can see it has been directly given that when metal is reacted with water, this process is not been mentioned and it will directly give us metal hydroxide. This thing has been mentioned. Okay, so 2Na plus 2H2O. Na when reacted with 2 times water, it will give us sodium hydroxide, NaOH plus H2, and heat will be liberated. Okay, similarly in case of calcium and potassium also, that calcium plus H2O, 2 times H2O will give us CaOH twice plus H2 plus heat. Okay, so you might be confusing here why NaOH is written in this format and CaOH is written in this format with a bracket. So if you really need to learn this, please comment me in the comment section. I'll be surely making a separate video on this topic. Okay, so next, coming to the hot water. Cold water we have learned. Now we need to learn about the hot water. So Mg react with hot water. Mg is nothing but magnesium. This is the only metal which react with the hot water. Mg plus 2H2O will give us MgOH twice plus H2. Hydrogen gas will be liberated. Okay, next, Ca and Mg floats on water surface as bubbles of hydrogen stick to their surface. It means your calcium and magnesium, which is from this part. Okay, calcium as well as magnesium, both the metals, what it does after the reaction, it will float on the above of the water as if the hydrogen bubbles are stick to it. Okay, hydrogen bubbles, we feel that as if the hydrogen bubbles are sticked on their surfaces. Okay, so next, no reaction. So these are the 4 metals, Au, Ag, Cu and Pb, that is gold, silver, copper and lead. So these are the 4 metals which do not react with water at all. These are the 4 metals which do not react with water at all. Okay, next, coming to the last one, steam. So Al, aluminium, Fe is nothing but iron and Zn is zinc. Aluminium, iron and zinc react with only steam. It will react with only steam to form metal oxide and hydrogen. Okay, these are the 3 metals which react with steam to form metal oxide and hydrogen. So example you can see here, 2Al plus 3H2O will give us Al2O3 plus 3H2. Similarly, 3Fe plus 4H2O will give us Fe3O4 plus 4H2. So let's learn an experiment regarding this. Okay, so here let us see how the action of steam works on metal through an experiment. So in the following figure, you can see the apparatus which shows the action of steam on metal. So on the left side, what they have shown is a burner. You can see this is a burner and a metal sample is placed in a test tube, and before that metal sample, one more thing is placed, that is called as glass wool, which is already soaked into water. Okay, then to a stand they have clipped this test tube, and through a delivery tube they are showing us how the hydrogen gas is collected into the test tube here inside the water. Okay, so let us see how the experiment work here. So when the glass wool is soaked into water and placed into test tube, and that glass wool is heated with a burner, what happens to this metal sample is whatever the water particles will be there, that water particles will be acting on this metal sample as a steam, as a vapors. Okay, so that metal sample, what it does, the hydrogen gas from that metal sample will be collected, will be moving through the delivery tube, and it will be collected into water. You can see the bubbles which is present inside the water. It is nothing but the hydrogen gas which is evolving into the water, and that hydrogen gas is collected in the, you can see here in the upper part of the test tube, where you can see white color, and they they have noted it as hydrogen gas. So that is the part where the hydrogen gas is being collected. Okay, so this is all about the setup of this action of steam on metals. I hope you are cleared with this experiment. Okay, so as we have learned about the experiment mentioned for the action of metals on steam, I hope this concept is cleared for you. Reaction with metals with water. So we'll move to the third part, reaction of metals with acids. So metal reacts with dilute acid to form salt and hydrogen. Okay, so dilute acids. So here dilute acids in the sense acid which is mixed with water and diluted. Okay, it is not concentrated. It is very light acids. So when the metals react with this type of dilute acid, what happens? Here we will get again salt and hydrogen gas will be liberated. So the general reaction is as follows. Metal plus dilute acid will give us salt plus hydrogen. Okay. So you can see one example. Two more examples have been given here. That is Fe, iron when react with dilute HCl. HCl is nothing but hydrochloric acid. It gives us FeCl2, iron chloride plus H2. Similarly, aluminium when it react with HCl, hydrochloric acid, it will give us aluminium chloride with H2, hydrogen gas. Okay. Yes, so you can see a note present over here. The question is, hydrogen gas is not evolved when metals react with nitric acid. Why? So there is one more acid that is called as nitric acid. Its formula is HNO3. So when the metals react with nitric acid, the hydrogen gas is not evolved, whereas the hydrogen gas is evolved only in the case of HCl, hydrochloric acid. When the metals react with hydrochloric acid, then only the hydrogen gas will be evolved. Why is it so? So the solution is given here because HNO3 is nothing but nitric acid. Formula to write nitric acid, it is a strong oxidizing agent. Okay, it is a strong oxidizing agent. It helps in oxidation. Okay, so it oxidizes the hydrogen gas produced into water and itself gets reduced to any of the nitrogen oxides. Okay, so it means whatever the hydrogen gas will be produced after reacting with this acid, okay, that gas will mix up with the oxygen molecules which is been present here and it will produce water. Hydrogen H2 will mix up with this oxygen atoms and it will be converted into water, and whatever the remaining part is there, N and 2 more O2 will be remaining, right? NO2 will be remaining. It will be reduced to any of the nitrogen oxides. So either it will form N2O or NO, or we can say NO2. So this nitric acid will be converted into nitrogen oxides. Okay, so but Mg and Mn, magnesium and manganese, these are the two metals which react with very dilute HNO3 to evolve hydrogen gas. With this gas which is very much diluted, these two metals react with it and evolve the hydrogen gas. Okay, so do you know what is aquaregia? Aquaregia is nothing but it is a mixture of concentrated HCl and concentrated HNO3 in the ratio 3:1. So it means when we are adding the concentrated HCl as well as concentrated HNO3 in the ratio 3:1. If we are adding HCl 3 times, then we have to add HNO3 only 1 time. So when we mix these two types of acids together, we get a mixture known as aquaregia, and it is highly corrosive liquid. Okay, it can corrode any of the metal easily, and you can see it is a high fuming liquid also. A very much dark amount of fumes will be coming out from this liquid, and it is very important to know that this liquid can dissolve your gold as well as platinum also. Yes, you heard me right. You can even dissolve gold and platinum into this mixture. Okay. So today we have learned about the reaction, chemical properties of metals and non-metals. In that we have learned three things: reaction with oxygen, reaction with water, as well as reaction of metals with acids. Okay, so there are two more reaction which will be continued in the next part of this video. If you like my video, do hit the like button and also get subscribed if you are new to my channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon as well. If you are having any doubts regarding this, you can comment me down below. So I'll be back soon with another topic, so stay tuned and stay connected. Thank you.